All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into the big one, the epic AI rivalry between ChatGPT and Claude. This is going to be a real showdown.
You know, for what feels like forever in tech time, ChatGPT has been the undisputed king of AI. It's the name everyone knows. But is it still? Because a really powerful challenger, Claude, has entered the ring, and trust me, it is making some serious waves.
So to really understand how these two are different, we've got to look at where they come from. It's not just about the tech, it's about two totally different philosophies from the companies that built them.
Okay, so on one side, you've got OpenAI. They're backed by huge players like Microsoft and run on what's called a capped profit model. Basically, their whole game is about moving fast, innovating like crazy, and getting these tools into our hands as quickly as possible. But then you have Anthropic, and they're a public benefit corporation. That means they're legally built to put safety and what's good for society before just making money.
And that safety-first idea from Anthropic? Well, it's literally baked into their tech. They have this really unique approach called constitutional AI. So think about it this way. Instead of just learning from what humans tell it is right or wrong, Claude is trained on a core set of principles, like a constitution, that's based on things like the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. The whole point is to make it behave in a way that aligns with our values right from the very start.
So you've got the visionary versus the ethicist. But how does that play out in the actual products? Let's get down to brass tacks and look at the features head to head.
Okay, looking at the specs, you can see right away where they specialize. Let's talk token limit. That's basically the AI short-term memory. Claude's is, well, it's massive. But then you look at ChatGPT, and it's pulling way ahead with all its extra tricks. It can generate images with DALL-E. It can even do video with Sora, stuff Claude just doesn't do right now. Plus, if you're building your own custom AI agents, ChatGPT's whole ecosystem is just more developed at the moment.
So what's the key takeaway here? It's really all about a trade-off. Do you need a super versatile, do-it-all creative partner that can handle text, images, and more? That is 100% ChatGPT's strong suit. Or do you need an AI with a giant memory that can really dig deep and reason through huge documents? Well, that's where Claude absolutely shines. All right, specs on a page are one thing, but how do they actually perform? Let's put them through the ultimate test for a lot of us, creative writing.
And you know what? Right out of the gate, the pros seem to have a favorite. We're hearing from professional writers from places like the AI Writing School, and they're saying Claude's writing just sounds more, well, human. It feels less like a robot just mashing sentences together that it found on the internet. And look, this isn't just a vibe or a feeling. In actual head-to-head tests, they asked both AIs to write a funny story. And Claude's model, Sonnet 4, pretty much always won. The judges said its story was more coherent, it was written more elegantly, and, this is the big one, the jokes were actually funnier. It just worked better.
Okay, let's switch from creative writing to creative coding. For all you developers watching, this is the big one. Who wins when it comes to writing code?
Well, if you go online to places like Reddit, the developer community is buzzing. You see stories like this all the time. A developer who literally built an entire phone app with Claude's help. They were just blown away by how it could handle a huge code base without messing up.
And again, it's not just stories from random users. In a controlled test, they had both AIs build a simple online shop from scratch. And Claude's Sonnet 4 model, the code it produced was judged to be better designed and higher quality than what ChatGPT came up with.
So, what's the secret sauce here? How is Claude so good at this? A big part of it comes down to this one number, 200,000. That's how many tokens Claude can hold in its context window, its memory. To put that in perspective, that's like being able to read and remember a 500-page book all at once. It means it can look at your entire code base and not forget what was on line 1 by the time it gets to line 1,000.
Okay, we've looked at their philosophies, their features, their writing skills, their coding chops. Now we get to the bottom line. Which one of these AIs is actually for you?
Let's break it down real simple. You're probably a ChatGPT person if you need that all-in-one Swiss Army knife. You want something that's conversational and friendly, you want to generate images or maybe even videos, or maybe you're just doing a ton of smaller tasks and need to keep costs down. If that's you, ChatGPT is your go-to.
But you should be looking at Claude if your work is all about depth and safety. So maybe you're in a field like finance or healthcare where you have to worry about regulations and compliance. Or maybe your job is to analyze incredibly long, complex documents or giant code bases. If that's your world, Claude is without a doubt the winner.
So you see, it's not about one of them knocking the other out. We're kind of moving beyond the idea of one AI to rule them all. The real story here is that we now have these amazing specialized tools. The question isn't which AI is better anymore. The real question is, which AI is the right tool for the job I need to do right now?
So as these two giants go head-to-head, pushing each other to get better, faster, and more specialized, it leaves us with one last big question. In this whole battle for AI supremacy, who's the real winner? Well, I think the answer is pretty obvious, isn't it? It's us, the users. Because this competition means we get more powerful, more specialized, and frankly, safer tools to use every single day.